Hello, my darling dog lovers, and welcome back to The Walk and Talk, the podcast you can pop on in your pocket while you're walking the dog, doing the dishes, or just generally trying to live your best life and survive another day with your canine chaos gremlin that enables me to guide you along your dog ownership journey and share my top training tips and invaluable doggy wisdom from more than a decade spent working with dogs and their owners right here in glorious sunny England. Now, I hope you weren't offended when I dropped the term Chaos Gremlin in the intro, but it is pertinent to this week's episode because today I want to talk to you about the wildling dog. And I'll explain to you what I mean by that, but I think you already know the one. It's the one that literally never seems to be able to switch off. It's the one that is pulling you down the street like you're water skiing forever, the one who doesn't seem to listen or maybe only chooses to listen whenever it suits them, the one that's into absolutely everything all the time, barking at windows, chewing the table legs, and making you just generally question every life decision that led you to owning a dog in the first place. Can we all picture that dog? Have you ever owned that dog? Well, if you do have a dog like that, first of all, you are not alone. Don't worry. And second of all, you are absolutely in the right place today because today I'm going to walk you through 3 simple but seriously powerful changes that you can make to your daily routine that are going to transform that wildling behavior. And I don't mean in a just enrich them more kind of vague way. I mean actual, tangible, implementable things you can start doing today that will shift the way your dog behaves and, even more importantly, shift the way they relate to you. Okay, so let's set the scene first. Let's say your dog is absolutely wild. They don't listen, they're full on, they're always buzzing. Maybe you've tried a few things before, but nothing really seems to stick. Maybe you've been told just you need to exercise them more, or you need to really tire them out, or that it's just their breed. You're kind of stuck with that. Maybe part of you wonders if you're just a bad dog owner and you weren't cut out for this. Maybe you even feel resentful, or you feel guilty, or you just feel totally overwhelmed, or you are so beyond all of that and you just feel exhausted. Well, I want you to just stop, take a breath right now, and hear this. You are absolutely not failing. Your dog is not broken, and you are both doing your best with the information you've had so far. And you're about to get a whole new perspective that I promise will help you. So let's get straight into it and start with tweak number 1. And tweak number 1 is you are going to reclaim your dog's dinner bowl. So I want you to imagine this. Every single day, well, you don't need to imagine this. This is probably your reality. Every single day, your dog gets fed a certain amount of food. Maybe it's kibble, maybe it's raw, maybe it's some carefully prepped combination of meats and veggies and supplements. It doesn't matter. Whatever it is, let's say it's the equivalent of a couple of full bowls worth. Now, in most homes, we take that food, we plop it into the dog's dinner bowl, we put the bowl down, and about 90 seconds later, the food is gone. The dog is full, and the moment is over. It's done. But what if I told you that food is one of the most powerful training tools that you have at your disposal? What if I told you that instead of just being calories, it could be connection, it could be engagement, it could be mental stimulation, and even better, and what we're all here for, it could be behavior change, because it can be. So here's the deal. You are going to stop feeding your dog from a bowl. Yes, I said that. Don't come at me. Just hear me out, okay? From now on, that daily food allowance, that is your currency. Think of it as your magic behavior wand, your way to get inside your dog's head and shift the relationship dynamic, because you're going to put that food in a treat pouch, a squeezy tube, if it's raw, a snuffle mat, a Kong, all your pockets, whatever works for you, whatever works for the food. And you're going to start using it as a way to engage. Now, let me walk you through a routine that I personally love. Let's say you're getting ready for your daily dog walk. Before you even step out of the door, literally before you leave your driveway, before you go anywhere, I want you to use a few handfuls of that dinner for what I call pre-walk engagement. And please don't be overwhelmed by that, because it doesn't have to be anything fancy at all. It's literally just asking for a few behaviors that your dog already knows, like a sit, a spin, a middle, give me paw, whatever it is. You can even make it playful. You can just, if you don't want to ask for behaviors, if your dog maybe doesn't have any of those known behaviors yet, you can just bowl a bit of food across the grass and let them chase it. You can walk around your garden randomly and reward your dog every time they look at you or check in with you or orient back to you. The point isn't what you do, it's what you're beginning to shape. You're flipping your dog out of adventure mode, which usually gets fired up as soon as they see you put your boots on and grab the dog lead, where their brain is all about tearing ahead and exploring the environment. And you're shifting them into thinking mode, where their brain is engaging with you. Because this tiny pre-walk ritual totally sets the tone. It says, hey, dude, I'm part of this adventure too. And suddenly your walk isn't something that just chaotically happens to you. It's something that you are both engaged in together. And remember, you don't have to use the whole meal in one go. Of course you don't. You can save some of that food for training later or enrichment when you get home. Some of my clients like to split the daily allowance into thirds. 1/3 for engagement before the walk, 1/3 for on-the-go rewards, and 1/3 for post-walk rest time. Because let's be honest, if your dog is a wildling, rest doesn't just happen. You've got to set the stage for that as well. So what can you do with that post-walk portion of food? You can stuff it into a Kong and freeze it. You can spread it on a licky mat. You can hide it in some toilet rolls and make a little DIY puzzle. You can use it to train a trick or a bit of obedience at home, or you can just scatter it in the garden and let them sniff and forage for it. Every piece of food becomes a chance for your dog to engage their brain, to slow down and to use their natural instincts in a way that is calming and enriching. And here's the key: when your dog is mentally satisfied, you will see fewer outbursts, you will see less frustration, less attention seeking. They're not just tired from running endlessly after the tennis ball that you've been solidly throwing for an hour. They're tired because they actually worked. Now, let's talk about tweak number 2. Tweak number 2 is structuring those dog walks with intention. And this one is huge because most people think they've got 2 options with their wildling dogs, right? Number 1, a wild, free-for-all walk where the dog's in charge and you're just hanging on for dear life. Or number 2, when you've had enough of number 1, a strict military-style march where the dog is stuck to your heel and miserable the whole time. But I'm here to tell you, there is a third way, and I'm calling it the intentional walk. And this is what it looks like. So first, you begin with that pre-walk engagement we just talked about, right? That's your warm-up, if you like. Then you head off. And here's the thing: you don't start the walk with tight control. Instead, you let your dog sniff. You give them a longer lead if it's safe to do so. You literally allow them to explore and to decompress, because this is their walk too. Dogs need sniffing time like we need screen breaks. It's how they process their world. But then you add structure. So you walk towards a planned destination. Maybe it's a field, a quiet cul-de-sac, the local park. even just a patch of green space behind the local shops. It doesn't really matter. What matters is you've decided that that is your activity zone and you know where you're going. And when you get there, you switch it up. So you go from passive follower to engaged teammate. You do some training, you do some trick work, you play fetch, but only throw the toy after your dog offers a behavior. You practice your recall or your loose lead walking in a low distraction space. You teach something. Maybe you teach middle, or you practice a leg weave, or you just use food to reward proximity or eye contact or check ins. The goal isn't perfection at all, it's just engaged presence. You are saying to your dog, we're doing this together. This is a team activity. And then when you're done, you turn around and you head back the way you came. And for these kinds of dogs, it's important that it is a return journey and not a full circuit, because now you're walking back the same route that your dog has just sniffed out on the way out. And he had the full freedom to explore all the way out here to this point. So that route is less exciting. Your dog has already sniffed all those lampposts. He's already opened his emails. He's checked all the notifications. So that makes this a great opportunity to practice the more formal stuff. Loose lead walking, check-ins, attention cues. You are now set up for success to work on and practice those things in a real life environment, because this is where you're catching your dog in that sweet spot, slightly satisfied, slightly tired, and slightly more interested in you than the environment. Then you get home, you offer some rest time with food enrichment, and boom, you've just completed a walk that didn't just burn energy, it fulfilled a need and it built a relationship. I implore you not to just listen to this and then disengage and go back to your life and forget you ever heard any of it. Genuinely, I challenge you, please accept this challenge, to design your dog walks like this for 1 week and really give it your all, okay? And then come back to me and tell me how it went. I would truly love to know. And you can DM me or tag me in your Instagram stories whenever you like. I'm at Listen Dog Training on Instagram, and I'm always lurking there, aren't I? Okay, so please don't be shy. Okay, now on to tweak number 3. And tweak number 3 is boundaries and employment at home. Because if your dog is wild outside, there's a high chance they're also wild inside. And one of the biggest mistakes I see is dogs that are basically going freelance. No job, no rules, no direction. They roam the house all day. They bark out of the window. They steal food off the counter. They nag their owner for attention every 10 minutes. And then we wonder why they are reactive or anxious or demanding. They're basically spending 23 hours a day with no direction, no agenda, no outlet for their drives, their energy, their natural behaviors. And these are complex social creatures, let's not forget. It's no wonder we get problem behaviors that bubble up out of this way of life. So here's the fix. Your dog needs a job and boundaries and some actual downtime, not just exhaustion, but structured rest after engagement. I want you to ask yourself, what do you want your dog to do? Not just what you don't want, but the alternative to that. Write it down, literally on a piece of paper, grab a pen, write it down, stick this note to your fridge. Teach Fluffy to settle on a mat, train a retrieve, teach 5 new tricks by the end of the month, master the place cue, whatever it is. Give your dog some work. Even 5 to 10 minutes a day can make a massive difference, because you're turning what has always previously been just left to chaos into structure. You're replacing barking and pacing with tasks and rewards. You're helping your dog feel useful, safe, and satisfied. And this is the foundation for truly wonderful behavior to flourish. So there you have it. Those are my 3 changes I want you to implement. Number 1, reclaim the dinner bowl. Use that food to connect, to train, and to encourage calm. Number 2, structure your daily dog walk. Let them decompress and then switch on and engage together. And number 3, give your dog a job at home. Train with intention. Create boundaries. Try this for 10 days, just 10 days. And then message me, email me, tag me on Instagram. Tell me what changed, because I know something will have changed and you will feel it. And if you want more help with this, if I've truly piqued your interest on all the incredible changes that are fully possible for you and your dog, I have got a wealth of digital training packs over on my website, listendogtraining.com, that walk you through these kinds of routines, from engagement games to recall training to obedience work. It's literally all on there, because I think the main problem I see so often with exasperated owners is that they don't have oodles of spare time and they're stressed and they don't think it's possible to change what's happening within the confines of their already busy lives. But it totally is, because the truth is, you don't need to do more than you are doing. You just need to do different, with intention and with consistency. So I'm going to go and leave you to think about how you can make these 3 tweaks work for you and your dog. Can you think up a few perfect walking routes for this switch? Or maybe do you need to go and have a little explore? Do you have any training goals in mind that you could employ your dog with for just a couple of sessions a day? I really implore you to have a go at integrating this into your life and then come and tell me what happens. In the meantime, I'm going to let you crack on with the rest of your day, the rest of your dog walk, and I'll see you next week for another episode of The Walk and Talk.